Testing 1, 2, 3. Test, test. This thing on. Testing, testing. Do you read me? Hear me? Fantastic, Lilandra. How are you? So, just kind of a heads up, I've been having all sorts of technical issues today. My internet was out. My webcam reconfigured itself, so I had to go through and fine-tune all its settings. My stream software reconfigured itself. It's like I had a gremlin messing with all my stuff. And then to top this all off, the cherry on top of the cake is I have COVID right now, so my throat is killing me. I have to cough and a lot, so I'm gonna do my best today. Try and get through all the entries as quick as possible and probably wrap up a little early, fortunately. Oh. My eyes are a little photosensitive too, and I didn't realize how bad it would be when I was in front of my so I'm like kind of wondering if I can even stare at the lights this whole time. I'm gonna go grab my sunglasses. I'm gonna be like Corey Hart. Anyway, so sorry for the delay. Sorry that the stream is somewhat reduced capacity today due to illness. Great. My mouse just died? What the Okay, it just came back on. Oh my god. I'm not having it. Hey, Swedish Cook, how are you? I'm back. You know what, let's get this stream going before it falls apart. Welcome, everyone. Sorry for my cool appearance today. My eyes are killing. Super photosensitive at the moment. I think it's just from all the coughing and sneezing. All things considered, I'm okay. Had a ton of technical issues this morning that delayed the stream, so sorry about us starting about 20-30 minutes late today. And I'm also COVID positive at the moment. I am just really struggling. The last few days have been really rough for me. Today is probably the best I felt in, well, since like Monday. So I don't know if you can hear it. My throat is really scratchy right now and kind of deep. Yeah, I am not doing the best, but overall better today. I have not caught it once until now. I have avoided it so well. I wore it like a badge of honor that I never gotten COVID. I had some COVID scares, but it ended up being like a flu or a cold or something, you know? But I'm probably going to cut the stream short today, so it'll be an expedited. Right? Because I'm just so cool. Right? Honestly, so I'm wearing the sunglasses because my eyes hurt with the lights. That's very much what's helping me. Very White vibes. Oh, yeah. But I spent the last, 4 years keeping my wife protected from COVID. I did some crazy, crazy next level baddie shit to keep my family safe from COVID. I have only told you all a little bit about it, and I'm sure some of you would probably think I'm a germaphobe if I told you everything, but we basically don't eat out anymore. We don't go to restaurants. We don't go to like public places where there'll be people around. No movies, no dinner nights, or no date nights anymore unless it's in the house. Kind of sucks. But it has kept COVID out of our house for the entirety. Yeah, it sucks. I went to see my grandfather this last weekend. Took a week off. My grandpa lives in Reno. It's like a 7-hour drive from Vegas. And I get to Reno, we're hanging out, spend a few days with him. The day before I leave, I tested for COVID because I didn't want to bring it home, right? Negative. The day I leave, I tested. Negative. I didn't have any symptoms. I was just doing it out of a sense of precaution. I drive home. I'm home about a day, and then I start sneezing, like a lot. And like in the spring, we get like a lot of pollen in our home because there's like tons of flowers and bushes all around our house. So basically I just kind of chalked it up to that, but then it was like a lot and my nose was getting runny. So I was like, nope, I got to test. So I tested again and positive. No fun. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get to the damn challenge and we'll try and get through this in one piece today. Congratulations to Rev. Good to know. I actually added some on my grocery list. I was going to add some so I could relax, sleep better. But so Grandpa doesn't even have COVID. I don't know where I got it because I pretty much only interacted with 3 people while I was there. My grandfather and grandmother. Sorry, I was going to see them both, but they don't live together, and I was staying with my grandpa. The visit was to see him. They have been divorced for like a decade. So anyway, I had lunch with them both, and it was out in a public place, like out in the open, like a picnic. I masked around both of them. I wore gloves constantly. I sanitized my hands and stuff. I tried not to touch anything. Dang, that's crazy. That's good to know. I'll avoid it like the plague then. Rev, congratulations on your win of the Damn Challenge, by the way, my man. Sorry to detract from your amazing map with my COVID woes and discussions of my trip. And despite of me being sick, my trip was amazing. It was great to see my grandparents. It's the first time I'd seen them in like, 10, 11 years. It's been a while. So, the vacation was great. I got him set up on an Xbox that I brought and taught him how to play golf. Unfortunately, he wasn't into Red Dead Redemption as much as I was hoping he would be. He just only wanted to play golf. So, essentially, I taught my grandpa how to use an Xbox to play golf. It makes me laugh. So, what really caught my eye with this map is how you managed to essentially fit 3 different aesthetics in a single thing in a single space. You know, you've got this kind of outdoorsy kind of normal realm, and then you've got kind of a hellscape realm over here, and then the place between where there's the gates, you know, to travel the teleportation, you know, space here. Excuse me. This stream is not going to go well, I can tell you right now. So, with that in mind, congratulations, Rev, for this amazing entry. I really appreciate the effort you put into this, and I really liked how it was such a stark contrast between the two zones, tethered with the little teleportation realm in between. Yeah, it is a good visual representation of a plane juncture, right? How you doing, Finn fam? Oh, it's pretty rough. When I have to fight off a cough, it's the worst. If I have to cough, I might as well just punch myself in the throat. Yeah, you see the you know, astral ships in the background here, so it's like still possible to traverse between them, but the teleportation offering is probably much more ideal. I'm trying to figure out why I can't get over there, and there's like an invisible wall of some sort blocking me. I'm gonna just move the skybox, I guess. Oh, I can put it. Whoa. A ladder to nowhere. Love it. Better not fall, right? Yeah, the skyboxes are a wall, I realize that. Anyway. Yeah, it does kind of sort of have an Asgardian feel to it. You know what I mean? And I didn't even realize there was an entire outer skybox. Man, this must have been so hard to put these skyboxes in here one at a time. Get them just right. Excuse me. So, I gotta ask the big question. How long did this take you to make, my friend? And did you get put on the couch while you were making this map? About 3 hours? Not bad. That's quick. It also goes to show you're speeding up your craft, my friend. You're finding your groove, so to speak. Nice. So wait, you're required to attend a meeting you have no input in whatsoever? Just goes to show how talented they are, Finn, right? To be honest with you, though, our community is just, like you said, so gosh darn talented, and they're constantly pushing the envelope with designs like these that just blow your mind, right? Go take a dip in the lava. The boiling hot magma. Three hours is impressive, my friend. Very cool. Ooh. Fighting off a cough right now. Don't mind me. So how was everyone's week? And I haven't seen a lot of you for a while because I took a week off. So what have y'all been up to during my time off? How did your sessions prep go? How did your sessions go? If you did something else besides, tabletop gaming, like your life, let's hear about it. You did anything interesting, fun, challenging? Love to hear about it. I bet. Rev. Are you and your friend coming up with your ideas for your penny adventures? I think this is my favorite part right here. This little lava realm, the hell realm. Very cool. And because you use the one-way skybox, it's great in top-down too. Little watermark. Couple of them you got hiding in there. That's smart. That's cool, FinFam. That's awesome. Take a look at the teleportation area. Ooh. Trying up more, but I can't let him. Lamps look great in here. Nice little addition. Feels so like big, even though I'm in this tiny space. Like the skybox is just the perfect size, so it just feels really distant. Excuse me. Ugh. Anyway. I'm almost free. The skybox is containing me. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. My audience begged me over and over to stop saying my Wonderwall joke. And I said, maybe. Wonderwall is just such an iconic song that no one wants to hear. It's a good song, but the only time it's ever played is by some annoying asshole at a party with a guitar. Like, not when you want to hear it. Anyway. Good song on its own, not when people cover it and play it. It's like that is probably one of the most covered songs of my generation. People ruin everything. I honestly can't count how many times I've been to a party and some guy broke out a guitar and started playing Wonderwall. It reminds me of that video I saw the other day of everyone on the plane being forced to listen to that teenage girl sing. Like, I don't mind, you enjoy singing, your kids like singing, I guess you're trying to entertain everyone. Right, so Chim, I've got COVID right now, and my eyes are really photosensitive, so my spotlights are killing me. You can actually kind of see them reflecting in the light. They are just that white, or in the lens, that little white thing in the lens. Big white lights. But yeah, my future's so bright, I gotta wear shades, you know? So by the way, yeah, welcome back, Chim. How was your travels? Excuse me. Oh. Jet pilot vibes? Huh. Follow me on the highway to the danger zone. View from the little ship? The tiny one or the other one? Ah, gotcha. Okay, I kind of figured that's what you meant. Should have left a tiny mini on it. Hey, Stelios. Ah, fell off the ship because it's so tiny and then the token moves the same speed. Oh, wow, that's really cool. It does have a sort of, like an Asgardian feel to it. You know what I mean? Very cool. So I just realized my TikTok chat was frozen, so I'm refreshing that. So TikTok, if you were watching and I was not replying, my apologies. I just fixed the issue. Oh, thank you, Artful Darkness. You're always amazing. Much appreciated for the likes. It's a very nice map, my friend. You did a great job. Simple but elegant. Lots of details. If you explore, you'll find little hidden things that are fun. This is actually Rev who did this. Lord Rev made this one, and he won the Dam Challenge with it. Boy, congratulations again, Lord Rev. So yeah, we can't all win, but we can be winners. We can all be winners. So let's definitely pat our friend Rev on the back, give them congratulations, and you know, because why not? You know, he deserves it. It's a damn cool map. There is no I in team, but there is an I in pie. Don't worry about me. I'm just going to be rambling all sorts of nonsense because I didn't sleep at all last night. I think I got like 2 hours. So if I start just rambling and saying stupid stuff, just be like, Mac, what are you talking about? Well, then... That's awesome, Pandora. That's funny. Fantastic work on this, Rev. Thank you so much for putting it together and sharing it with the Dam Challenge. Fantastic entry and well-deserved win, my friend. Let's go ahead and go on to the next one because my voice is dying right in front of you. So we got to get through this as quick as possible. So did nobody get to get any tabletop gaming in this week? This map is really cool. I actually enjoyed this because it's got like this simple facade on the front, right? But then you look on the backside and it's like, dang. Got all these buildings back here and stairs and verticality. Very well done. Party in front and business in back. Oh, nice. Yeah, the stairs are seriously stunning on this. That took some serious work. And it's just like really well designed pillar or like stair placement and like stonework. Oh, nice, Lalandra. How did your session go? Excuse me. Very cool, Fin Fam. Oh man, COVID is wrecking me. You don't realize how much you use your voice during a stream until it is completely broken and wrecked. "30 minutes till you get to play again? I'm jealous. You want to trade places with me? You can come be sick for me, and I'll go play tabletops. Very cool. That's awesome, Rev. But the problem is, once you get them started on those shiny math rocks, it's an addiction. They'll never be able to lose. Starting them early, I see. Get her some of those top shelf math rocks to get her started. That is a lot of winning, for real. Really awesome when you can share that kind of stuff with your family, and especially the next generation, you know. So you should check out Misty Mountain Dice, or Misty Mountain Gaming, I think is what they're called. They make some good dice. Lorenzenator or Lorenzator. I love Dungeon Alchemist for building maps, but it's shit for playing with. I mean, it's not really intended for playing, so that makes sense. It's made for making maps and then exporting them for your play format of choice, whether it's for print or TV tabletop or a virtual tabletop. That's ideally where you would want to play your games, is in those type of situations. So I can agree it's not necessarily the best for gameplay because it's not really designed for it. Though, despite that, we do have some features that lend to that, like the ability to turn on the grid or the ability to hide the user interface. These are more lend themselves to be more useful features for like TV tabletop. Our next update will have multi-level and roofing. So definitely great time to be alive. So the winner gets their map featured front and center. Obviously, first map. They get all the FaceTime, the eyes on their work, right? Additionally, they're featured in our weekly newsletter, the Cartomancer Chronicles. Okay? Just like Lalandra was. And then they get a $10 Hero Forge gift card as a prize. So not only is Hero Forge awesome, but we offer Hero Forge integration. So if you win, you have a chance to get yourself a free token, or a few even, depending on their sales or packages available. So it's a nice little bonus. But realistically, it's not really a competition against anyone but yourself. You know what I mean? You're really just, the challenge is to challenge yourself to make, maps that are outside of your comfort zone, or to push your cartography to another level. You know what I mean? Lauren Zader, are you still there? They said an integration with AI, but I'm confused by that because Dungeon Alchemist already has integrated procedural AI. Developed entirely in-house, I might add. Trained on our own maps and only using our in-house art and assets. So at no point was our AI trained using any public data sets, art, maps, anything like that. Trained internally by and using art made by our talented team of artists that we love, respect, and compensate fairly. Stelios, are you gonna join the next damn challenge then? Last stop. You know what? Let's read about this, shall we? On the border between the forest of giants and the wasteland, a small village survives through those traveling through. Houses converted into inns and businesses, semi-permanent traders lining the path, and all amenities a weary traveler might need before they venture into the wasteland, or a warning to not proceed further. If I have something you like as a theme, see, that's what I mean. Like, the themes are always intended to be really inspirational and work on a lot of levels. But often they may not be something that you might not readily need for a map for your campaign. So it's usually putting, you know, a little bit of pressure on you to do something outside of your comfort zone, per se. But I understand. You know, that's a good question. We should start discussing the next theme. Ondu, didn't you have an idea that you shared with me recently for a theme? And I thought that would be good. I can't remember what it is. My brain is so foggy right now. I feel like on Wednesday you said something. New vanilla. Yep. That's actually a good idea. But I think we should wait until the next update launches to do that, because then it'll be like a whole new toy box for everyone to use. Next theme, regional map. Interesting. Regional maps are a little bit tricky to make in DA. And while that'd be an interesting challenge, I feel like it might cause a lack of participation. Like one time we did, well, I don't know. I guess, no. I feel like we did regional in the past and there was only like a couple entries. But, excuse me. I'm open to the suggestions from the floor, though. If any of you have ideas and themes, so we've got one down right now as regional cabbage version 2. Funny. It could be, right, Swedish Cook? I have been known to be wrong in the past about themes, but I think y'all were just kind of clowning me on that one, going out of your way to make cabbage maps just to prove me wrong. So I feel like it wasn't necessarily inspiration, but more like, hey, Max said that no one's going to enter, so everyone entered. It was very contrarian of the community, if you will. Double-sided pickle. I got Alchemist, but was disappointed the greed is not comparable with D&D. What do you mean by that? Do you mean the grid? I'm assuming you're talking about the grid, right? Double-sided pickle? It is a 5-foot square. And if you import to, say, Foundry, it'll mix perfectly. The only difference would be the size of objects. And it is compatible with D&D. I use our maps in lots of different places in virtual tabletops. Now, to that end, I want to clarify here. Are you saying because the object scale in the square seems off? Or can you kind of further elaborate on this? Because I want to make sure you can do what you want to do. So the default generation of some objects and tables and things, beds, more often than not, will be far beyond what you would think an item like that would be, and it's for a reason. It's an artistic choice. When you're in a top-down, it's hard to tell that, you know, this is a loaf of bread unless it's a certain size. Does that make sense? So rather than lose all detail, we took the artistic choice of scaling up most objects. But the squares are 5-foot squares, and there's nothing stopping them from being 5-foot squares. No, that's only for scaling purposes, man. Only for scaling purposes. And that's object related. But the thing about this is you as the DM could literally say this is a 10-foot square or a 40-foot square if you wanted to. Nothing's restricting you from doing that. Does that make sense? It's funny, we hear this argument or this point brought up, oh, it's not the right size, but then the majority of our community, and I'm not trying to call you out in any way, do play D&D with it. So I feel like there's something missing here that I want to make sure we cover. You know what I mean? On the road is an interesting one. Sorry, double-sided pickle, if I'm seeming a little off or rude or whatever. I have COVID right now, so I'm trying to keep my responses very short. But I do want to help you and get an answer for you that solves your problem. But only when it comes to scaling of objects are the squares 1 meter by 1 meter. So basically, you know, me as a DM making this map, I could say any of these squares is 5 by 5, and if I want it to fit better, realistically, it's just scaling objects to fit better in the 5-foot, you know, size. Now, that being said, our next update will solve this problem quite a bit with a new feature. Object scaling. One moment. So the next update will feature a new quality of life improvement called universal object scaling, which will in turn allow you to rapidly scale the entire object menu with a simple couple clicks. So essentially you can scale the objects in Dungeon Alchemist anywhere from 50% to 200% just by sliding a slider, and then it instantly changes every object in the object menu to match. This will help tremendously. If you don't like our stock scaling, you can just bring it down, fixes that up. I don't know if this will apply to rune generation in this update or not, or if it's just for the object menu, but it's a good start in the right direction. You know, maybe you're building a halfling village, scale everything down. Building a giant village, scale everything up. So hopefully this will help that problem a little bit. This is a very cool feature that I'm very excited about. So where essentially the size of a map you can make is a direct correlation of your PC specs. So the more powerful machine you have, the bigger map you can make. But also, sometimes smaller maps can take up a lot of space too if they have lots of detail, animated effects, interesting lights, stuff like that, or maybe objects you got from the Steam Workshop. Because some of the workshop objects are like hundreds of megabytes instead of like a fraction of a megabyte. So there's a lot of different factors that can weigh in on a map size you can make. I personally, you know, I can make maps up to 100 by 100 without any issues on my computer. I've never really tried beyond that. The average user in our community makes maps that are about, I'd say, between 20 by 20 and 40 by 40, ideally battle maps or small little encounter maps. Does that make sense? Though there's plenty of people who've made villages, towns, cities, entire dungeons, cave systems, all sorts of crazy stuff. This feature, though, will be a big game changer. It's going to make it so much more streamlined, putting your objects out at a certain size if they all match each other immediately instead of having to do them by hand. You know what I mean? A couple new features in the next update, in fact, that are pretty cool. Let me show you this one. Actually, that's the wrong clip. Nope, wrong clip again. I'm building maps as a base for Bolt Action 3rd edition game. Interesting. Cool. When you're playing in person, are you playing with printed maps? Are you playing with a TV tabletop, projector tabletop, something like that? So this new feature here is the custom object brush, which allows you to turn any object into a brush. So you can rapidly place the object without having to just paste it over and over again. Yeah, the new brush is going to be very cool. Going to help. Oh, I love the little laundry back here, the trousers. That's great. Let's get a look at the top down on this. I like this map. Simple, but to the point. Good little transition space for your players to load up on gear before they head off into the wilderness. Blah, blah, blah. I gotta say, these lights are one of my favorite objects on the workshop. You know, one thing too is we're not really an optimized app at the moment because we're in early access. Like something that'll probably blow your mind is Dungeon Alchemist currently only runs on a single core. There's no hyper threading available. So your CPU, you could have a god tier CPU and it's only using one core. I do think in the future we plan to unlock that, giving you access to all your, you know, your cores. So Dungeon Alchemist can definitely be improved in performance. In fact, our next update is getting a massive improvement in performance, not related to hyperthreading, unfortunately. It is basically one of our lead developers has been going through and improving the load times. And he has gotten it down to like very minimal. Just cleaning up code and making things run better. Who was it? I think it was Asmodeus, one of our moderators. He has access to like a crazy virtual computer network that is like insanely powerful. And one time he built like a map that was like, or he was testing to see if he could load it, and he was loading like 2000 by 2000. Or something crazy like that, like a huge map. The map was so big, I couldn't even open it on my computer. Right? Using Pixar's processing power to make maps. Nice. I have 128 gigs in my computer, and I love it for running DA, especially because it does use a lot of RAM when you're like downloading assets from the workshop, or if you have tons of tokens. All these things preload into DA before it loads, so it does help to have more RAM. Asmodeus, I see you lurking, dude. Are you here? Can you confirm the size of map you made with that virtual machine you had access to or have access to? And oh my god, it was bigger than I thought. It was 2K by 2K. Here I am. I cut it down modestly. No, it was insane. So, Lilandra, are you still present? The name, how you spelled this, has got me intrigued. Was it an intentional choice to spell minor as M-I-N-O-R? Lizzie, if an asset from the workshop is poorly optimized, that's on the creator who uploaded it. We have no control over assets from the workshop and their optimization. The assets that are stock in DA are very, very optimized. So, Lizzie, I do want to help you out here. One thing to keep yourself optimized, if your computer's running slow, if your DA's running slow now, unsubscribe to assets. Because the more you're subscribed to, especially if you don't have a lot of RAM or a basic computer, it will slow down your load times and operating times significantly. And this is something you need to be careful, everyone here. When you start getting assets from the workshop, it's easy to fall into the trap of, I'll just download everything. Why not, right? It's free. I have it right here. I'll just download it all as much as I can. Why not double or triple my asset collection right now? The problem is when you have a sword with circles, stones around it that's 50 megabytes, when the average asset in Dungeon Alchemist is like 0.05 megabytes. So the more assets you have in your collection, the slower your DA will run if you are leaning on assets from the workshop a lot. So my mentality is only download assets as you need them, right? And unsubscribe from them when you're not using them. Because if you go to open the map later, any assets you downloaded, it'll trigger a download for them again. So you don't need to worry about finding the assets again. DA takes care of that for you. Additionally, you can add items to your, like to collections, so you can download the collection again later. So you can unsubscribe from hundreds of assets, but then download them again later if needs to. So one thing I often do, and I was talking while I did this, but I'll go into the Steam Workshop, either in Steam or on the web browser, right? And then I go to my files and go to subscribed items, and I'll just unsub from all like once a week, because I look at so many maps, I end up downloading hundreds of thousands of assets a week. So I basically, my computer, when it starts loading DA really slowly, I'm like, okay, time to unsub, and then I'll just unsub from all of them. So the thing about the Steam Workshop is it's a great resource, but think of it like they're all mods to Dungeon Alchemist. Every single one of these assets is technically modding Dungeon Alchemist. And every time you add a mod to a game, the more mods you have, the more likely you're going to run into issues, right? Yeah, a lot of people don't really run into this issue. Only a handful of people I've run into will be like, it's running so slow. But yeah, most people don't have the same problem I have where I'm like, you're looking at maps every week that are communities, right? Anyway. Gotta download more RAM, right? Isn't there a way to expand your RAM with like a flash drive or something? You can like plug it in and it adds like virtual RAM. So technically you can download more RAM. Hey, you know, that's totally fine, SquarePeg. More power to you, and those assets are designed to increase your library and give you more functionality. It's just some of them are poorly optimized, and that's nothing against the creators. A lot of people would just find assets online from a third party and load them up. They'll put a Creative Commons license on it, like this one here is from Sketchfab. So it was made for, you know, something else entirely. It's just the nature of mods. Excuse me. Lalandra, I was really impressed with the verticality in this. You did a great job. Oh, that's cool. How much does it actually help? Okay. That cough is rough. This part over here was really cool too, Lalandra. The whole little western town, the saloon, like everything. Like I always say, DA can lean into like western and early industrial, and this is like a perfect example of a little western town with the, you know, the false fronts, the raised fronts to make them look bigger. Oh, it's a beautiful map. I think this one's great. Why can't you just put your RAM van in your computer and then you'll be good to go? You did a great job. I love the mine shaft. This is fantastic. Lizzie, if you some advice for that, if you want to make your assets smaller, I would recommend hopping into our Discord and spinning up a question thread, because we have a whole army of asset creators who are really good at optimizing their assets for upload. Asmodeus is one that comes to mind. He can make the assets incredibly small. One thing I know that he does, I'm not too hip on all this stuff with 3D, you know, rendering and modeling and stuff like that. I know a little bit and I know how to 3D print, but I'm not really an artist or a designer on the team. I'm the community manager. Now, that being said, Asmodeus does something called decimating, if I recall correctly. Why am I not seeing Lizzie's chat? Let me find this. I'm not seeing her message anywhere. I don't see Lizzie's comment anywhere, though. That's the problem. Oh, okay. It just popped up. Here we go. Okay, so decimating is one way to do it. A lot of 3D software has a tool in it called decimating, and that essentially, just like it says, you're essentially turning it into a percentage of itself in size. So you're lowering the amount of polygons, I believe, when you decimate it. And then the other thing, yes, and then he's also using kind of LODs or levels of detail, which he's saying here in chat on Twitch. Sorry, I'm crossing the chat over to you here on Facebook, Lizzie. He says, I can take a high poly image and transfer to a low poly model, which makes it look high poly. So it's essentially like a wallpaper on a wall. You know how it can look really detailed, but it's really just a flat image. And that's how a lot of the assets in Dungeon Alchemist are created, actually. They're smoke and mirrors, so to speak. Very simple shapes, like simple squares and rectangles with high level of detail because it's just got a texture map slapped on it. This isn't actually wood grain 3D texture. It just looks like it. But this is a great way. He has actually posted a couple Blender tutorials already. And my apologies on that. The recordings I had, basically, I didn't really have enough of anything to make a concise tutorial because one of the most important video was corrupted. And then the rest were kind of intermittent with helpful information that I edited into something, but then it ended up becoming like completely useless without all this core information in the one that was bad, the one video that was bad. So, but yeah, in our Discord, there are about 4 or 5 videos that give tutorials around Blender and decimating and optimizing assets and stuff like that. So these signs on the front, Lizzie, you were asking about that, right? This is an image, right? And to do this, it's actually quite simple. You go into the object menu and you select this panel right here. It looks kind of like an infinite triangle. Abstracts. In here, you have these blank slate, kind of just green. They're called abstract objects, right? These can be scaled up, scaled down, but most importantly, you can put a custom image into them. So this little icon here, if you click that, it goes to our website and it shows all the templates for these objects. Now, what you're looking at here is essentially the stencil for each object and the image template for it. Each of these images, they're 1024 pixels on each side. So it's 1024 by 1024. All of them are. Every single one of these templates, right? But the safe space, the green area that is highlighted on each image, is the part of the image that matters. And what data and image you put on them represents something. So in the case of that vertical pane, come down here, I find the custom vertical pane, download it, and then I could put this in like a photo editor and put bank up here in the top, like text in Photoshop, or if I have a program that I can make graphics with, and then you essentially insert that image in. In this case, it was just Sheriff PNG, most likely, because it's blank all around, right? And that's how they got Sheriff, Bank, Post, and Telegraph. So essentially, in order to take advantage of these, you need to either be able to edit images, you know, on your computer or your phone or a device or something that you can put into an abstract template, okay? And or locate an image that'll serve your purposes. You use Microsoft Paint. That makes sense, and it's simple, to the point. Doesn't take a whole lot to learn how to use it. You know what I mean? Oh, it does? Wow. Man, Paint is like good, tried and true. Just, you know. I mean, it's just been around forever. It's always been like just a fun app when you're bored. Hey, let's play with Paint. Man, I used to work at Best Buy, right? In my like late teens and into my 20s. And there was a kid that would come in like once a week, like a teenager, and he would go to one of the computers and draw like a masterpiece in Microsoft Paint and just leave it there. MS Paint for a simple program is great. And it's fun. There's really nothing wrong with Paint. It's tried and true. It's been around for like 30 years for a reason. That being said, there are definitely better programs. I'm just saying, if you don't have a skill set or don't want to learn another one, Microsoft Paint's really straightforward for the average user. No, it wasn't vandalism. He'd open up Microsoft Paint, draw something, and just leave it on the screen. It was a file that could be deleted. Yeah, definitely old. See, I forget that we're not 20 years into the new millennia. 25 years. Man, 2000 was just like last year, right? Very well done on this, Lalandra. I just keep finding new things in it. You're good at like putting all sorts of fun little stuff in it. Really enjoy it. Man, did we irritate some people saying that Microsoft Paint is cool? Honestly, though, I have a bit of nostalgia because I just come home from school and play on Paint all the time. I love drawing in it when I was a kid. Isn't part of the vandalism also like breaking something or causing something to look defaced or whatever? So like if you were painting on a wall with a spray can, that's different than say going into Microsoft Paint on a demo computer in a store and drawing in it. In fact, I would argue the demo computers are there to be demoed and used, right? That stinks though that you got in trouble for that, Tim. Or were you just leaving paintings? My wife uses her iPad to do like all sorts of drawing, and she has several different apps. She has what is the one she uses? Anyway, she is so good at drawing in that, and I'll just sit and watch her for like hours because she'll just put something crazy together, like just whip it all out with her Apple Pencil, and it's got all these different layers. It's beautiful. You know that animated Hendrix that I have in the beginning of the stream? Yeah, let's do On the Road. I don't really want to pick. So if that's the case, that's what it'll be. This is obnoxious. Are you effing kidding me? My KVM switch is not working, so I can't switch to my second computer and control anything. So my whole stream computer is inaccessible to me right now. This is like the stuff I've been dealing with all day. Just one issue after another. So I can access my DA computer just fine, and I have a device, a piece of hardware called a KVM switch, and it essentially allows you to have one keyboard and mouse and mic and all that connected to two computers, so I don't need to have two of them here. Right? So when I try to go to my stream to change any settings or do anything, I cannot. It's very fun. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna probably have to find a mouse and plug it in. But it's not working on one half, which is either the USB is bad on my computer, which is a problem, or heck, it's possible the KVM's dead on half, so that means I gotta buy a new one. Just a pain, you know what I mean? Anyway, this map was really well done. Geronimo always knocks it out of the park with his builds. 2 realms. The Hellscape border. That's my hope. Just turn it off and on again. Earlier in the stream, it had a problem, but then it started working again, so I don't know. Now it's broken again, so I'm thinking that side of the KVM might be bad. John Deere Enjoyer, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Damn Fam. Camp Kill commentary says, just bought it, and it's great. Very intuitive and easy to upload your own assets. Love it so far. We'll be using live streaming. Actual 3D map Hero Quest parody. Nice. That's cool. So welcome to the community, Camp Kill, and also thank you for supporting us. You know, we're a small indie developer, and you know, every community member helps. So thank you so much for joining the Damn Fam, as we like to call it, because when you save a map in Dungeon Alchemist, it's saved as a .dam, which is our proprietary file format. Psycho Machine, which gray part? These? Yeah, these are pipes. Just the top half of a pipe, it looks like. So that's a skull. These are columns, marble columns. He just sunk them in to look like decor. Man, I'm curious how he got these really nice cuts. I'm assuming there was a room here, and then he deleted it. Like a track. Because then it would make a really thin, neat cut like that. So, like, he just put, like, a room down this, and then deleted it after it was generated. something like this. And then once you delete it from that space, it's now will carve out that space. Like click on the room here and just boop. That has to have been how he did it. This is the skeletal plains biome, yes. Anytime you see like fleshy, tryptophobic, bones, scorched earth, it's pretty much always going to be the skeletal plains biome. Very cool, though. He did a great job. One moment. I'm going to see if I can fix it. Ow. Well, fudge. That didn't fix it. Hieronymo definitely has a lot of skill. I'd imagine he just feathered this. You know, just use the different terrain brushes, small sizes, and just have the brush strength up high, and then kind of feather in. Be honest though, the only way to guarantee would be to ask him. Yinda, as of right now, I don't think there are any new biomes in the next update because it's such a huge update focused around objects. There's going to be multi-level and roofing. In fact, the update's so big, it's been broken into 2 parts. So we wouldn't have to delay till like the end of the year. We decided to split the update into 2 parts. So part 1, Fun with Objects, part 1, should be available, you know, by the end of June or in July sometime, most likely July. Poseidon, you know, I would love to put a Dungeon Alchemist on sale, but unfortunately, the sales for things like on Steam are dictated solely by Steam. So Steam tells us when the sales are, and then we fill out a form and apply, and then if they approve it, then we go on sale during that time. So we typically participate in all major seasonal sales. So, you know, fall, Steam, summer, winter, spring, fall sales, definitely. And then on occasion, we get brought in for other sales if we're part of like a convention or something that also is featured. So the Steam summer sale most likely will be included, but I don't know until it's like the week before. So as far as the June update, will likely not have any environmental biomes, but we'll have tons of features that will, you know, kind of make you forget that there wasn't a biome in the update. I appreciate the kind words, Donk. You know, that Donk over in TikTok says, the program is worth the full price. So, you know, it is interesting. Dungeon Alchemist is not like most other softwares on the market right now because, you know, most are either angling for like a monthly thing or, you know what I mean? Or you have to pay for, you know, seasonal passes or whatever. But Dungeon Alchemist is a one-time fee for a lifetime license. It gives you access to not only the tool itself, but a repository of over 11,000 maps on the Steam Workshop and over 9,000 3D models to expand your collection of assets in Dungeon Alchemist. Anyway, that being said, if we do go on sale, it'll likely be one of the major, you know, Steam sale events. But our next update will feature, you know, the ability to build down below ground and above ground, have towers or multi-story structures, roofing. Essentially, you'll be able to build 5 stories up and 5 stories down. So in the next update, you'll be able to add new floors and transition between them very easily. So there's this new UI element over here, which you can click up or down to go up and down between the levels, or you can use the hotkey plus or minus to do the same thing. But this I made in the update build. It's a little bit older build, like a beta build from a few months ago, but clearly shows how it's a multi-story structure that can be transitioned between levels. You can navigate this whole thing in first person. Not a problem at all. So isn't On the Road like a Americana novel? Like, wasn't it written by an American writer? And it's just like about his experiences traveling across the US. Yes, Vajinda, there will be some shipbuilding assets in the next update. It's kind of like the first iteration of what we're going to call the shipyard. Essentially, it's kind of like the alpha version of it, if you will, where you can slap together all sorts of interesting looking ships. Trying to find a video I have with the ship in it. So there's a new tool launching in the next update called the Modular Object Tool. And it'll allow you to quickly link objects together like pipes and rails, and we're actually adding a couple new object sets that better utilize it. So the ship is one, and then there was like a system of like alchemist workshop pipes and stuff like that. But as you could see here, the main thing in the background is this wonky looking one-piece ship, and that was slapped together using that tool. All right, everyone, I gotta end the stream. My voice is killing me. I'm having a hard time talking. I had so much fun hanging out with you guys and gals today, regardless of the fact that I had tons of tech issues and my throat and head are killing me. So we're gonna wrap up the stream today. Yeah, On the Road is about traveling. It's like some guy's experiences as a, you know, what was he doing? He was just, wasn't he hitchhiking and traveling or something? I feel like I read this in high school. But The Road is based on that, like, it's that apocalyptic scenario, right? Where there's like cannibals and stuff. Way different. Don't read that one thinking it's the other one. Thank you everyone for being here. We'll be back on Monday with Mapmaker Monday, unless I'm too sick to proceed, but I'll let y'all know in Discord and on social media. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to wrap this up really quick because I'm just not feeling it. So we'll see you next time I give a damn. Mac out. Bye. Okay, I can end the stream. Yay, bye.